Alright guys, we got everything pretty well ready here. Still need to drain the AC out and get most of that equipment out of the way for now, but anyway, we've got the AW4 in there and it's sitting pretty nice. I've got it about 2 inches farther forward. I tried to go 3, but the drive shaft wasn't quite long enough for that. I don't think we're going to check it out here now that we got it back on the ground. But I took a quick video here before when it was still on the lift to show you what we've got going on. So underneath here on the Dakota, just to go over what we've done so far, we went ahead and moved the axle forward about 1.5 inches, I think. It wasn't centered, mostly because these 1-ton leaf springs here, they run right into the what do you call it, the cab mount, so it couldn't go any farther forward, so they had just left the axle sitting backwards almost 2 inches in the wheel well there. But these blocks actually have they have 3 different holes in them, set points, so we'll see. I may end up going and re-drilling the leaf springs here, but for now, just to see how this works, we're just sitting in that other that hole in the lift block and then bolted it back down again. So that gets our rear axle pushed forward, which helps us out because then we can push everything else forward. It's interesting, this gas tank is actually clear over to the center of the body on this thing, so I guess they actually had the driveline originally was off to the side, and I'm seeing that on the motor mounts. They had the whole motor and everything shifted over a couple inches, which is interesting, but we'll just kind of see how it works for us here. But we went ahead and, so this is the same, basically the same transfer case. It's a NP231 out of a 1/2-ton Dodge, and with it sitting pretty much in the factory location, or I shouldn't say factory location, but in the original tranny mount holes we've got on the mount, it's sitting about here. I'm gonna lower it down and see. I'm not sure how far up the axle is gonna go, so we'll see if we need to adjust it forward or backwards from there, but it's about right. Once it should go in about 1/2 inch there, which will be pretty decent. And then if it goes in more than that, I've got another hole here on the tranny mount, and we went ahead and the tranny mount was inside of here. We moved it forward 2 inches to accommodate the rear axle, so everything's sitting about like it was, just 2 inches forward, which is pretty awesome because that puts I don't think I'll be able to show you from here, but it puts the bell housing 2 inches forward under here. But anyway, we got all that setting in there, and as you can see here, the bell housing is about 3 inches forward of the firewall, and then with the TD conversions adapter plate, that's going to put us 5 inches forward with the engine. So that should be pretty sweet. I'm going to take out these motor mounts for now. Yeah, you can kind of see how far over this thing was to the passenger side. It's pretty weird. I think actually the tunnel is offset as well. So that's interesting. And also, I didn't notice it till I was pulling it out, but the frame is even notched back there for the exhaust. It was so close to that side. So just interesting how different vehicles do stuff, but obviously this whole front end's all cut out now for the 1-ton axle, so we got a lot of room to work here. The only thing is going to be, I may flip over this drag link just to give us more oil pan clearance. We'll see where we end up with it at once we get the engine set in, but we'll go ahead and get this thing sitting on the ground and see what it looks like. So anyway, we're gonna get the TDI and the adapter mounted up and get it ready to drop the TDI in here just for a test fit and see what it's gonna look like. Alright, it is in here. I've got the GTD 2056 VK turbo ready to go, and just kind of test fitting that in there. Of course it's tighter than I was hoping, because from the looks of it we got a few issues. I've got it up pretty high. I wanted it a lot flatter than this, and the steering, the pitman arm is coming over on a right turn, and I don't know if I could show you guys easier from underneath here or not, but it is pretty much coming over and hitting the AC, the compressor pulley right there, and I'm already up higher than I want to be. So I think we're going to need to clock this thing quite a bit more. This older TD conversions adapter kit, it only has 2 positions. I can't remember if it's or if it's straight up and down and 15 degrees, but I think I'm going to try go about another bolt hole over and just drill them out. That is the nice thing about these adapter plates. You can pretty much spin them all the way around and do whatever you want there. But other than that, obviously we have tons of room here. I'm still about an inch away from the firewall, even with it clear up in the air here, so I can't complain too much, but I wasn't expecting to be so far forward that I would hit that pitman arm. So we'll see if we can clock the engine a little bit, and then we'll see this one motor mount. It looks like I'm going to be able to use a factory mount on this side and just make an adapter to bolt to the engine, but this side I either need to move that thing back because it's right on the AC compressor, so I don't know if I want to move it back to the middle of the frame there and do the same thing. I was looking, and they make the motor mounts for the V6, which I believe use the same pockets, are a lot nicer to work with than the ones that the V8 had. So I might try order one of those up and see how that goes, just to test fit it, and we'll go from there. This is just my test engine I had laying here, so I kind of try a lot of stuff out on there. But anyway, it's looking pretty sweet. Nice to see it in there and see how much room we have to work with. So just gotta fix those few things and we'll be ready to get some mounts going for this thing. So stay tuned.